it seems that biomimicry could almost fool humanity into preserving itself. Is that an overstatement?
I think we have to take off our blindfolds and be very, very deliberate about our choice of coveted objects. I think we have to be deliberate about our desires, and that's a maturing process. You know, I mean, I think ultimately creating a culture that stigmatizes the use of the last ivory, you know, or the last cheetah fur. That's something that we need to work on. You know, when did status become associated with having the last of some very rare natural material? You know, and can we reverse that so that there's, and I honestly believe that in the role of taboos for ecological wisdom, I think that a lot of indigenous taboos had to do with very good wildlife biology sort of conservation messages.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you share some examples?
I love the idea of taboos as ecological wisdom codified. And I think a lot of indigenous cultures in their religion had taboos against things that would deplete resources. For instance, in northwestern Canada, the First Nations people, what is now Canada, the First Nations peoples had a taboo against doing your fishing net with, you know, the mesh size too small because you'd catch the smaller fish before they had a chance to grow. They had taboos against what size, how many beavers you could catch and what size. And all of these had when wildlife biologists look at them now, they realize that they were really very, very strong conservation measures. But they were encoded into their religious beliefs. And it all went back to a respect for the organisms. Because, like, for instance, the Cayucan Indians, again, in that part of the world, in the Pacific Northwest rainforests, they believed that everything was connected under the ground and that it was a knowing country. The country knew. And that the organisms would know if you had broken that taboo, and they wouldn't present themselves to you to be killed, because they believe the organism presents itself to you, and that's why they would thank the organism after they would kill it, if they would kill a deer. So there were severe penalties for breaking the taboo, and the penalties were that somehow you had disrespected a member of these animal people. In the absence of that, we have a very difficult time having a culture at large individually make the right choices. And in the absence of that, we have laws which invite poaching.